YouTube, welcome to the top 8 by liking, commenting, subscribing, and watching as much as you can, even if it's in the background. I appreciate that very much. And with that said, top 8, grand finale, plus top deck list, Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Small world. We could bridge towards a, potentially grabbing an Ash Blossom to negate that Maxi. So I would think it's probably good to chain Maxi to a small world. We have Petting Soar being special summoned onto the field and not using Maxi to play around Gamma. Really holding onto it. Also playing around Thrust and Triple Tactics Talent. But enough is enough. We are now going to be whipping out the Maxi and just ending our turn. And due to you allowing us to get this far, we got a Promenade at least, which we would have had it anyway. Lightheart, Promenade will be able to negate any card on the field. And by any card, maybe negating the field spell would be better. Not because I see the hand, but the field spell is a hard once per turn. And if they have another copy, which they do, you're good there. They have 2 field spells, you get the first one activated, the second one's no good. Right? That's what I'm thinking. Negate. And then there's that unfortunate second field spell. Searching for the Vsauce, popping the Lightheart to come forth and summon, which the Lightheart would then summon from the graveyard. We have Crossout Designate, negate the Maxi, scoops it up with the Vsauce and Lightheart. Lightheart could reborn for the grave, so we have Vsauce, Lightheart, we have Scareclaw, Kashtira. That's too much. Let's hop in a game number 2. Not Maxine before that Fenrir hits the field. What is going on? They have Ash anyway. Now, what do we have here? Okay. Now, there's a secret protection on Hootcake. It cannot be destroyed by battle, and people always forget about it. Fenrir versus Fenrir. We're going to negate the Fenrir from adding, also triggering our Fenrir to banish. Is that worth it? Okay. Yeah, Promenade negate. Salon is going to be setting up a card into the back row again as the glass is triggered to return a card in the graveyard back in the deck. We don't have Chateau. Without Chateau, we're not able to add it back to the hand. Now we're going to use the field spell to grab the Reichart. With 3 monsters on the field that are in defense, even the opponent, we can pop any card in the field, taking out the Fenrir. Reichart into a rival. A rival could reborn from the graveyard, searching for... Well, first we're going to be thrusting into a talent. You activate a monster effect during the main phase, we're going to take control of one of your monsters, protecting the Hootcake from monster effects, and it's also indestroyable by battle. So do we know that? We're going to take the Vernisolith, go into the Lightheart, Lightheart into the field spell. We cannot activate another field spell. Special summon the Acro, making the Triheart. Triheart is going to have the ability to gain multiple attacks, piercing battle damage, and gain attack. We got 3. We're going to make Triheart again. Triple Triheart, double Triheart that is. Reborn the Balone, which is the piercing battle damage. Acro, which is going to be the boosted attack. Astro, which is going to be the multiple attack. Attack 1, attack 2, attack 3, attack 4, piercing battle damage. Let's go. Attack again, protected. Attack again, protected. And then I think we had 1 more attack after that. This is why Scareclaw is absolutely insane. I love it. Good job, Crobat, putting this at... Wait, did Fictinium win game 1? Did I mess up the things? I did. Fictinium actually, that was a 2-0 in favor of Crobat. 2-0 Crobat with Scareclaw advancing into the top 4. Scareclaw is a sleeper deck that's going to be doing very well in the Duelist Cup, I think so. Keep your eye out for the deck. Hamp is the way. Hamp is a searchable kaiju. If you control a Skystriker Ace, you could special summon this by tributing in a Rise Heart. We're going to negate the Pot of E, and the Pot of E could be banishing all 3 of the Arise Hearts. 1, 2, 2. 2 out of 3. I've always seen Pot of E banish at least 2 Arise Hearts. What is going on? We got Birth with Theosis onto the Unicorn, summoning from the deck our Fenrir. We still have our normal summon. There's our Scareclaw Kashtira. Special summoning the Rise Heart, making the Shang-Ri. This tells me he's gonna bang that Shang-Ri with the Big Bang. Banish the Big Bang, grab a material from Shang-Ri, back to the hand, then summon it back on the field. And what did we get banished? We lost a Widow Anchor. And the Afterburners is potentially a one-of that we just lost. Now we're gonna link over, I should say exceed over the Rise Heart into the Arise, and now every card we use is gonna get banished. Are we going to allow them to summon Hamp? Because we do have to control a Skystriker Ace, but no one really knows how this card works. So as soon as Ray is here, you try to banish it, she summons a monster from the extra deck, but then you have to banish that monster with a Fenrir. Are you willing to do all of that? And then the Hornet Drone summons a Skystriker Ace token. So it's happening. We're not stopping it. The Hamp, because we control the Ray, summoned over the Arise. Now none of our cards are going to get banished. This is the way. We have Module, as we're going to link this up into Hayate. Hayate could send a card from the deck to the graveyard. Now this is a damage step effect. Because it is happening during the damage calculation, Fenrir, Unicorn will not activate. No activation, as we said. Kagari will be triggering their activations, though. As we add back the Engage, Unicorn's going to be banishing for the extra deck. Did not activate the Fenrir. Shang-Ri locking up a zone, popping with the field spell, summoning Ray, which now can be banished by the Fenrir, but it would then dodge the banish if we had not used the effect already. Now the Shiziku's going to be adding during the end phase and Engage. Fenrir now banishing. What happened there? Did we already have a Widow Anchor in the graveyard or what? Then we grab Widow Anchor, negate, then reset Widow Anchor. Going second with our Skystriker, banishing 6 with a pot of P, digging deep. Are we grabbing the Planet Pathfinder? Can't use the pot of E. We got the Pathfinder here. Imperm onto the Pathfinder, even though it's negated and will not add a field spell, it still opens up your main monster zone so you could summon the Unicorn. Unicorn into Theosis. Pathfinder did its job at 8 in impermanence, and that's all we wanted from it. Come forth Fenrir, searching our deck for the Rise Heart. Are we going to be banging our Shang-Ri? I do think so. Making the Shang-Ri. This plays right into Nibiru. I think Nibiru is going to be... I wish I could say Nibiru is going to be really good for the Duelist Cup, but it does not work well against Labrynth. It does not work well against Purrely. So you have 3 top decks, Cash, Purrely, Labrynth, and Nibiru is only good against Kashtira. And then you have some Kashtira players making a Rise Heart with just 4 summons. So what do? It just really benefits the players that are not going to be summoning a Rise Heart in 4 summons, like Willup. Willup in about 6-7 summons, making the Rise Heart. Every card is now going to be banished. Triple Tactics talent with Change of Heart. We're going to take control. This is it. Get ready. And what's crazy here, well, so this will trigger the Arise Heart, and then it will trigger the Fenrir, but before we get banished by Fenrir, we could actually activate to banish a card in the field. And if it had 3 material, we could activate its effect to banish the Change of Heart before it was taken control of, and that hard once, I should say soft once return a banish a card in the field would not be activatable because it's tied to the card, not the player. Talus World with a $5. Why do you think Red Eye's Dark Dragoon is still banned? It's easy to out turn 1, banish face down. If not, it could be Kaiju. Also loving the streams. Thank you so much, Talus World. I think Konami OCG really hates Branded. And I think that's a deck that would be abusing it a lot. Triple Tactics out. I do want to go more into your message, though, right after this duel. We're going to a Rise Heart, come to me, and just like that, we're going to detach 3, banishing the Birth. Come to me, another banished card, back to triple material. Then Rear on the attack, banishing the Shang-Ri, sucking up another banished card here. And can we turn this into a Zeus? Surely we play Zeus. We do not play Zeus. We could link over it, though. Burning for 3K, making a Zeke. Zeke, come here. And now with the Fenrir and Zeke, we could, we banish the Fenrir to come back during the end phase of the next turn. We're going to engage into the multi-roll, also grabbing the Widow Anchor. With multi-roll, we're going to be sending a card we control to the graveyard if we want. Otherwise, just by activating Skystriker cards with the multi-roll, we could set up cards from the graveyard back in the field during the end phase. Now let's get engaging. Engage into double Widow Anchor, randomly drawing a card here. Shizuku searching during the end phase for the third Widow Anchor, yes? Oh, that happened. So we could not do that. So what we had to do was Shizuku, add Widow Anchor, then multi-roll set the Widow Anchor. We'd have triple. All right. Harpy Feather Duster, no! Why? Just like that, linkage over Shizuku into Kagari, completely wiping out the back row. Whoop! Wipe the field with the Harpy Feather Duster, activating Kagari, so now we can suck it up with the Kurikara. Kashtira birthing our Fenrir onto the field. Fenrir searching for the unicorn. We can now normal summon that unicorn. Searching for Theosis. Oh, this is just disgusting. Harpy Feather Duster blowing them out. And more people are playing it, Kurikara Tribute, because of Thrust. You thrust into the Harpy Feather Duster, or you just randomly draw it. It just like that, almost lethal damage, 100, but it is lethal with the Scareclaw Kashtira. 8,000 damage direct in a single turn with 2 Widow Anchor plus a Kagari, which doesn't trigger the Skystriker Ace Ray in the graveyard, the summon of the Kurikara, because it was not leaving the field through a card effect. Oh my Jesus. What the heck happened there? Harpy Feather Duster completely sweeping out Skystriker. Disgusting. Ariana's going to be our normal summon, grabbing the clock. Clock will make it so our set Welcome Labrynth is activatable the turn we set it. We're going to be using the Chandelier, discarding the Bluebeard to set up a big Welcome Labrynth, which is now activatable. Clock will be triggered. Also, the Bluebeard will discard a card to draw a card. And we could add the clock back to the hand or summon and then spin it back with a big welcome by making a lovely with our play. We're going to Torby set up a second big welcome Labrynth here. As we now go lovely, not lovely. Are we rank 4 exceeding? This is interesting. What is the switch up here? Not lovely, random popping. Okay. I'm interested what we're doing here instead. Why would we not go lovely, recycle a trap plus pop a card? It feels like that'd just be too good. Send a trap to what the heck did you just do? Summon a fiend from your deck? I thought you had to summon a Labrynth fiend. Ain't no way you just summoned a Whitebeard from the deck. This is the synergy with Plunder and Labrynth. What the heck was that? We just jorded out of nowhere thanks to Ariane. Ariane is the best Plunder support, apparently. Put itself into the Pendulum Scales, summoning a token onto the field here, and now making the Blackbeard. We got the Golden Hair, discarding a card, summoning itself onto the field, locking us into Plunder only. We're now going to be summoning a Jord onto the field, and let's go. Okay. Get sleepy into the Max C. We do have Thrust and a Triple Tactics talent. We're going to chain the Happy Memory so that they do not get to draw a card off of this Max C. Come forth, Lily. Lily get activated and to search our deck for a purely non-quick play. We're going to be activating the Jord. If your opponent special summons a monster, you could add a Plunder card from your deck to your hand. Then, if you're equipped with the Plunder, you could special summon a Plunder monster from your deck, which will be the Whitebeard. And because there's a dark monster on the field, we could summon the Monster Banisher. We're going to be using the effect of the Torby discarding the Shipyard to then set up a big welcome, which will be usable if we discard a clock, which we did. Clock will be activating its effect because you discarded to activate your Torby to add back to the hand. Now, Lily is going to be equipping the Happy Memory, and the summon's going to be untargetable. We're going to be chaining the Lady to the big welcome, which we probably should have chained any of our quick play cards to stop that from happening. Talus World, I'm going to get to that in a bit, my friend. Thank you so much. Come forth, lovely Labrynth, returning a card we control back to the hand, triggering the lovely to pop a card in the field. Now, the pop is non-targeting, so we do not care. But we kind of care because if we activate the non-target pop, we chain the Happy Memory, making the happiness indestructible from the non-target pop, and also if they don't chain link block the happy memory, we equip it onto the happiness, spinning a back row card back to the hand. Let's go. This is a really wild situation. Lovely. Ariane, that is activate. Welcome Labrynth setting. And Chandelier, add back to the hand. And Blackbeard is going to be activating the quick effect. We're gonna let our happy die? Really? We're not chaining happy memory to protect it? I don't understand. Why? Why? Now, can List negate in the damage step when happiness attacks and then activates a search? Let's read, let's investigate, and let's explain why. Your opponent activates a monster effect, discard a card, negate the activation. If it said negate the effect, it could not negate in the damage step. Because it negates the activation, it can negate the happiness. And when it negates, what does it do? You destroy it, but it wouldn't be destroyed due to the happy memory, but we didn't even use the happy memory, so what the heck? We had double protection from the List and from the Lovely if we used the happy memory. But maybe we're gonna do something crazy with the thrust, right? We're gonna get thrusted. Hey, we didn't even pop the happy memory, so I went crazy for no freaking reason. Herald of the Abyss. Declare a type and attribute, which will be Light Fiend, to send the List to the grave. Okay, I'll just summon another one. Don't mind me. There we go. That's it. Just like that. Damage step did not negate. Okay. We're not negating. Are we negating this? We're not negating. Opponent activates a monster, discard a Plunder to negate and destroy it. We're just chilling. We're chain link blocking the Delicious. He can't. Herald has another effect. Ain't no way. Herald's got a secret effect. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate the effects of monsters with the sent monster's name. So you thought you were cheeky by summoning another List, but by summoning another List and sending that List, your List on the field could not activate. You could not negate. Oh my. Well. Do we lose? Oh no. Happy searching for another Happy. We're gonna have Quadra attack here. We actually lose one of our attacks because we chain link blocked the Happy from equipping onto the Happiness. Very well done here. But we will get swinging, we will get searching again, but it's not gonna be another Happy memory, unfortunately. But we could Zeus. And the List cannot negate. I cannot believe this. Wiping the entire field. Look at all of those cards being sent to the grave. My friend Purrely revealing triple regular Purrely will at least go into a monster negate if we whiff the top three. We did not whiff it. We have a sleepy memory. Now we're going into the beauty with the monster negate. On top of that, having a full field wipe with the Zeus. And do we equip the sleepy onto it so we can draw a card during the standby phase? Yes, we do. Get equipping, not chaining anything to stop them from equipping, not chain link blocking it. We have my friend Purrely. If you deal with the beauty, we're going to add up to 3 cards in the graveyard back to the hand. Not drawing into a hand trap. Coup Clock making a newly set card to be activatable. Lady is here. We can now negate Zeus. Okay, that just happened. Come forth into Bran. Bran could banish the my friend Purrely. Bran is also boosting up your other Fiend monsters by plus 500. He doesn't know that Dimensional Barrier's here. Do not use it. Chill, okay? Take out. He's like, I got Zeus. Do you not care about my Zeus? I'm going to wipe the fields. Oh, I know you got it. And I'm going to force you to activate it. Then you're going to find out that it actually does not work. Negate the Zeus. And we're going to chain to the Dimensional Barrier, setting a trap from the deck. Holy moly. Just like that, we got Imperm to be usable for the next turn. We do have Fenrir. Goodbye, negated, then spawn back. That will trigger our card effects in the graveyard now. By a monster leaving the field from a trap effect, we get to add back the Chandelier, reset the Welcome Labrynth. Chandelier could set up a big welcome from the deck. The advantage here is just disgusting. Now, it's only a quick effect if we're equipped to the Plunder Patrol card, which it is not. but the Redbeard could still summon the Mowerk, right? Is there a dark monster? They have a Lily. We're going to Fenrir get negated by the impermanence, and then Redbeard discard. Yes. Or I should say Redbeard just summon into the Mowerk. Mowerk will be able to end phase, discard a card, banishing the Fenrir off the field. And we are scooping it up. Despite a full field Zeus, Plunder Labrynth is endless advantage in the top freaking 8. This is the deck of the tournament. I am copying this 100%. Purrely versus Plunder Labrynth. What the heck is going on here? We're going to be chaining the Maxi to a Purrely spell or the effect to perform and exceed here. This is where we could chain our quick plays. Very well done to dodge some of the draws of the Maxi. And the Purrely doesn't even reveal until resolution. So what are we making? We're making a plump. Nice and plump it is. Regular Lily could grab the Ma Friend Purrely, which the Imperm could negate, but then you're not Imperm negating the plump from equipping cards in the graveyard plus equipping a card from the hand. I don't know. I don't agree with the Imperm on Lily when there's a plump on the field. Yeah, it's very interesting because, you know, maybe the Lily could grab the field spell and then they pop off from there, they activate the field spell, then you're forced to Imperm, then they chain the quick play, they suck it up, then suck up cards in the graveyard, then you're going to get clapped up by the Purrely Nor anyway. So maybe you did have to negate the Lily. And with this setup, we have draw 2. Draw 1, then we are going to be going for the draw number 2. Just like that. You could have Imperm to negate draw 1, but do you really want to do that? Probably not. Purrely Nor, unless he draws no really good hand trap. No, he did not. We got triple spin. How does our deck deal with an unaffected from activated effects Purrely Nor? Do we play Goddess? Let's see. Blackbeard is here. Have no fear. We're going to be discarding a card to draw a card. Purrely Nor is going to be spinning back into the deck the Whitebeard before the Whitebeard activates to summon a monster from the deck. It works. It's kind of like a negate. Draw into the big welcome. Golden Hair locking us into Plunder only. We are now going to be summoning the Mowerk. Now, what happens if you target the monster, then the Nor spins the monster you're targeting? Do you still summon the Exceed? Let's see that. You are going to target an effect monster, summon from the extra with the same attribute from the opponent, and if you do equip it, so spinning it on the activation does not even work. We're going to be discarding to banish the Lily, also searching for the Shipyard, and then summoning our Redbeard with the effect of the discarded Whitebeard. Now, the Redbeard could special summon a monster from the extra deck, which is what we are doing here. Chain Maxi. So we could chain Blackbeard, we could chain Big Welcome Labrynth, we could get chaining, and that Purrely Nor is still unaffected, but the Purrely Nor has an expiration timer, and that is the end of the turn. It's gone. It has to turn into a Zeus this turn. Chain Blackbeard onto the Redbeard, Big Welcome Labrynth, summoning from the deck. Lovely, which will be triggering to pop a card in the field or in the hand. Spin back the Redbeard, Shokan into a Jord. Did we just double Jord? Double Jord it up. Lovely Labrynth, also using Fenrir to banish the Ma Friend Purrely face down. The advantage with this deck is insane. He's always got so many cards on the field and in the hand. What is going on? We're going to suck up the Impermanence, but by activating the Impermanence, it does not do anything because it's unaffected from activated effects here, and we still suck it up. We, with 6 materials, gonna have a 7 material Zeus. Triple field wipe. What do we do? We're gonna get Jordan. Because you summon a monster, we're gonna search our deck for a Plunder. Wipe the field. And we could wipe it 2 more times. How do we play through double field wipe Zeus? Golden Hair locking us into Plunder monsters only, summoning from the graveyard, normal summoning the Whitebeard. Whitebeard is sent to the graveyard, will be triggering, chaining the Big Welcome onto our Golden Hair to return it back to the hand. Interesting. Golden Hair could discard a card to special summon this from your hand. Okay. Now we have Redbeard, which could summon a Mowerk, right? Wait, they didn't have a dark monster in the graveyard. We have List. List could negate the Zeus. Activate Zeus, negate. But you're only 2,000 defense. Oh my gosh. It didn't even force a Zeus activation. That's not good. Discarding Golden Hair, setting up the Big Welcome, wiping out the Big Welcome. Now, Big Welcome can only spin Zeus back if we have a level 8 or higher Fiend on the field, which we're going to be struggling to get that off. Discarding Welcome to summon the Golden Hair from the graveyard. No longer has a field wipe. We're going to be making the Blackbeard. Blackbeard does draw a card here as we draw into a Daruma. Hold up, that's a level 8 Fiend. Ain't no way. Spin that back just like that. Let's go. Chandelier being triggered off of the Big Welcome spin back. Shipyard is going to be activating to place itself back onto the field. And we're going to be using the list to summon the Blackbeard onto the field. So target a Plunder, Patrol, set this, and if you do, return that card to the hand. So instead of returning it back to the hand, it was summoned onto the field. Very well done there. Very good combo. Write that down if you want to play this deck. Discard Daruma, grabbing the Black Eyes. Black Eyes will return a card in the graveyard back to the hand, summoning itself onto the field. We now got our Red Beard. To battle we go. Oh my Jesus. Now, Liss does not need a card equipped onto it to negate a monster effect. It does need to discard a Plunder in order to negate. Got Mowork, but only one Plunder for the discard. You have to discard a Plunder for both. Yup. Okay. That's going to be our discard, but we also search a card off of this discard. So we're going to banish it, and only if we successfully banish it do we get to grab a Shipyard that we could discard with the list to negate a monster effect. Nice. Leap's going to return up to 3 Purrely monsters in the graveyard back into the deck. We don't get to draw off of that. List during the end phase is going to be special summoning the Red Beard onto the field, and during the end phase summoning a Brand. Brand, discard a card, banishing the Happy Memory in the back row off the field. I think we win. Damn. Way to make Purrely look like a rogue tier deck. I cannot believe this. What the hell is going on? Boo-hoo to the top 4. Special summon our Fenrir, grabbing the Rise Heart, Nibiru waiting for 5 summons, but that is over because now we have Baron to floor to negate anything. Omni negate with Max C and Droll. Droll turns off your Max C, so you gotta be careful with that. Autopy, dig deep. We're gonna be revealing Max C, Prison, Nibiru, Pot E. Pot E is useless here. We add a Dragonized Prison. Dragonized Prison will not be able to deal with the Baron to floor unless there's a warrior in the opponent's graveyard or if we control a warrior. We're going to be chaining the Coup Clock and then chain summoning Lady into Max C. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. We Drolled and we Max C'd. So Max C will resolve, we'll summon Lady, we'll draw, then Droll will resolve, then we don't draw anymore for Max C. So Max C is just draw 1. Why not? Draw 1, sure. And that ended our turn. We didn't want to summon Ariana because we could not search. We're going to take control of the Lady, summoning our Rise Heart, banishing from the deck, banishing 3 cards face down. The one of Labrynth. Labrynth is now gone. 7,500 damage on the field. Now what? We are now going to turn them into Donner before the Lady goes back to the other player. We still have to deal with that Omni Negate on Baron. We're going to Coup Clock, send to the graveyard so we can activate a newly set card, which will be the Big Welcome. Ariana adding a Torby. Torby discarding the Nibiru to set up a regular Welcome Labrynth. Coup Clock being triggered to summon itself onto the field. We are not going to be activating it yet. Now summoning Muckraker. Muckraker discarding a card to summon the Lady. Baron to floor is going to... Don't you have to chain right now because the Coup Clock does not work unless you have a monster on the field? I guess you're just going to pass and use it during the draw phase. That's what I'm thinking. You would have to activate Summon Lovely, return back the Muckraker, and then you would trigger the Lovely, pop a card, then reset a card. Now you can't. You can't do it now. Needs a Labrynth for the clock. It's not just a Fiend. You actually need a Labrynth. So before the link, you had to actually make that play. Yeah, you have to control a Labrynth monster. It is different than the Lovely, which is requiring a Fiend monster. Also different than the Big Welcome, requiring just a Fiend monster again. We're going to be activating the Big Welcome, which we could have chained Welcome to the Big Welcome to summon a monster onto the field, and then on the lower chain link, the Big Welcome would be able to return so we could make more plays potentially. But in this situation, we could special summon the lady back and then chain the Welcome to the lady, then set a new trap from the deck. Okay. Stovey, triggering, summoning itself onto the field, thrusting, a Harpy Feather Duster. You need your toggle on right now if you wanted to activate anything before the Harpy Feather Duster wipes out your back row, as it does now. Dragon Ice Prison going to take control of the Fenrir, also chain the Welcome Labrynth, summoning a Labrynth monster from the deck only, not from the hand, not from the grave. Ariana's here. Come to me, Fenrir. Now, the Ice Prison is going to make it so the monster is not activatable. It is negated. And that is the scoop. Let's take this into game 2. Connection failed. I wonder if the timer was low. I feel like there were some things that were a bit questionable there, but let's hop into game 2. Pada E versus Ash. Negate. No, not negating with Ash. Holding Ash for Big Welcome. It is respectable. I could respect that discipline holding onto that Ash. Big Welcome's a big one. Now, the problem is, ashing a Welcome Labrynth is not that good. It's better to ash the Big Welcome, but if you do not ash the Welcome Labrynth, they have a Lovely, then you can't even ash the Big Welcome to begin with, so you're forced to ash the Welcome Labrynth. All right. Pot of E into Droll and Lockbird, yes? Droll it up. Special summoning the Fenrir. To battle we go. Are we going to be flipping up our back row? Ideally, you'd want to toggle on and at the start of the battle phase, so when it says S, start of the battle phase, that's when you would activate cards before it can even declare its attack, and you're forcing them into the battle phase. But we lose our field spell for free. So that was free. It was free banish. That's not ideal. Triggering the Chandelier in the Stovey. Stovey summoning itself onto the field. Chandelier going back to the hand. He's scooping it up. Oh, damn. Even with that mishap, we're still able to win. All right. Labrynth is very good. Let's go to game 3. Setting our Big Welcome in Dogmatic Punishment. We're going to hit him with an early Maxi. Lightning Storm is going to be wiping out the back row here. The best we could do is summon a lady, return the lady, then be able to summon the lady. Or I guess we're going to have Ariana for next turn because we are feeling safe, I guess. Hopefully we don't get one turn killed because otherwise, oh yeah, we're fine. I guess we're okay. All right, sure. Could have on the attack. If you summon the lady, then it gets banished, so that would not even be a good play. But the Ariana play is pretty fine here now if we know that we were not going to die. Banishing the Fenrir, keeping the Imperm to negate the Ariana. Now we have Big Welcome to dodge the impermanence by spinning herself back to the hand. Very well done. Great use of Big Welcome in the grave. Grabbing ourselves a Torby. Oh my gosh, what happened? What is going on? Ain't no way. Snapshot. You had it. What the? We have top 4 Plunder, Labrynth versus Pure Kashtira. Begin. And huge shout out to everyone watching today, whether it's on Twitch or on YouTube. The support has been immense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Theosis onto the Unicorn, summoning from the deck our Fenrir. Beyond that, though, we're just going to make that a Rise Heart. We're not going to even risk it. We're not going to play into that Nibiru. I do not think so. Now, everything sent to the graveyard is banished. Fenrir searching for a Fenrir at the start of the battle phase. The Arise Heart's going to banish the Fenrir. Now, the Chandelier and Torby cannot activate to set a trap from the deck while there is an Arise Heart on the field. By using the clock, it was not so that we could activate a trap this turn. It was to force the Arise Heart to activate its mandatory effect, which would then trigger the Fenrir to banish the Arise Heart, And now there's no more Arise. Goodbye to the Arise. I think that we should have banished the Fenrir before it activated. That was, I would say, a mishap. We're now going to be Max Seeing thanks to the Arise no longer being on the field, so our own Max See could go to the graveyard here. If you hold that Ash for the big welcome Labrynth, we're going to be doing quite well. So I don't think you should be ashing an Ariana. Imperm on it is an okay idea. Shipyard discarding to grab the Black Eyes. Now Whitebeard being discarded will summon a Redbeard. Black Eyes will return the Whitebeard summoning itself onto the field here. And with that, we're going to put both of them into the graveyard to make Blackbeard. With Blackbeard, the opponent's got a Fire and an Earth, so we could summon a Jord or a Bran. So we could banish back row if we want to. End of the battle phase, are we going to get evenly matched? Wait, are we winning this right now? This was attack for game. But Blackbeard gets ashed because at the end of its effect, after summoning from the extra deck and attacking for game, you also draw one card. So we negate the entire effect with Ash because of that draw one card effect, and now you don't attack for game. Uh-oh. Evenly match, banishing everything. Now, he could still use the big welcome. Someone was saying, if you activate Whitebeard, if you activate Golden Hair, if you activate Black Eyes, you're locked into Plunder monsters only. You can't use the big welcome. You can't special summon and then go for game with that. That was a huge evenly. Pot of E, banishing from the extra deck. We're going to get that draw 2. Blackbeard is going to be making a Jord. So Jord is waiting for the opponent special summoning a monster to then add a Plunder from the deck to the hand. Okay. You can then special summon a Plunder from the deck, but all that is gone due to the change of heart taking control of the Plunder. Now we're going to use Birth, summoning the Fenrir into the Rise Heart here. And now Birth is going to be performing our regular normal summon with Unicorn without tributing, grabbing another Birth in case something happens to the first one. Special summon our Rise Heart. That is too much for us to handle. And if it weren't for the change of heart, what would have happened here? Your opponent would special summon through their Kashtira effect, and then you would add a Plunder and summon a Plunder, and that Plunder being a Redbeard or Whitebeard. There's no dark in their graveyard anyway. There's no dark in the field, nor in the grave, so we couldn't even summon the Mowork to then get banishing. If there was a light monster, we could set up a monster negate. That is the unfortunate situation with Plunder, where it relies on the attributes of monsters on their field and graveyard, but that's why you turn one summon Jord to give them a token of the attribute of your choice, which could be light or dark for the monster negate or monster banish. With that said, game 2. Let's go. Ariana, come to me, Chandelier. Chandelier, discard the Golden Hair. Golden Hair can then discard a card to special summon itself from the graveyard, but then locking you into patrol monsters only. Only get plundering. Jord is here. Jord is going to activate, returning the Golden Hair in the graveyard back to the hand, putting itself into the back row, returning itself back in the extra deck to summon a token onto both sides of the field. Now we could Golden Hair, discard a card to summon itself to then make a Blackbeard. And since we gave them the attribute that we wanted, which is Earth, we could summon a Jord. And then if they special summon, we'll summon a Plunder from the deck, also adding a Plunder from the deck to the hand. This works out. Because whatever Plunder we summon is going to need a Plunder to discard to get its effect going. Pot of P, digging deep for a change of freaking heart. What the heck are we going to do with that? Are we going to chain Big Welcome? Big Welcome, spin back the Jord? That's what I'm thinking. It's also worth noting, what's the token doing besides being Earth and being a token? Can't summon Unicorn, can't summon Fenrir, can't summon Ogre. It's blocking the summon of the Kashtiras. Now, Ash is negating the Big Welcome, stopping them from taking control of the Jord, which they could then tribute summon for the Unicorn. It's also, the token is stopping a Lightning Storm, which I don't think Bahu even knows that that's happening. That is a big deal. Negate. Holy moly. Take that Jord, then tribute summon it up, or go link it up into Asa. Wouldn't tribute summon be better? Do we have something to take control of? Was there a reason why we did not tribute summon? Is the token not tributable or something? Is there something I don't know? Where'd the Jord go? It's in the extra zone? The token states that you summon the token, and yeah, I don't know what happened. Why didn't we tribute? big welcome with no Ash, returning the Ariana back to the hand to then be normal summon, triggering the effect of the Welcome Labrynth and the Chandelier to add back to the hand and set on the field. Let's go, let's go. Ariana searching for any Labrynth card from the deck, which will be our Coup Clock, which will make the Welcome Labrynth activatable. As we are activating it right now into Ariane. Ariane is going to send a trap on the field or from the hands of the graveyard to summon a fiend from the deck, which will be a Whitebeard. And if linked into, it sends the Whitebeard to the graveyard, activating its effect to then summon a Plunder from the deck, which will be our Bluebeard. Equip onto the Bluebeard, I should say the Bluebeard equipping onto a Bran. Bran can now banish back row. We're activating Chandelier, discarding to set up a Welcome Labrynth to be used next turn. Coup Clock being activated to add back from the graveyard back to the hand. Golden Hair discarding the Coup Clock to then summon itself onto the field, and then ending our turn. Okay. We don't have a Plunder in our hand to discard to banish a back row. Ooh, okay, we're going to the battle phase here. Swinging in to get rid of the Asa because we want to be able to special summon our Unicorn. It's blocking our plays. What just happened here? The Asa... Wow. Bran was boosting Blackbeard to be bigger than Asa. Asa needed to leave the field, so we equipped the Bran that was boosting the Blackbeard onto the Jord, reducing the Blackbeard, thus the Asa kills the Blackbeard and is stuck on the field, blocking the Unicorn, blocking the Ogre. What the heck was that? Well, I'm gonna grab a Harpy Feather Duster anyway. Wipe up the back row. There's no side deck in today's event, so people naturally playing triple thrust into Harpy Feather Duster, into Herald of the Abyss, maybe even into an evenly matched, right? Yuri is playing that, so add evenly, then wipe up the entire field. Lovely. Now, we want to make sure if we activate the effect of a trap to make a monster leave the field, we do not deal with the monster within the main phase because then they could summon the Unicorn. But because it's the end phase, it's safe to spin back the Asa, triggering the Lovely to pop a card from the hand, triggering the Ariana to draw a card, Welcome Labrynth set, Chandelier, add back to the hand. What the heck? Plunder Labrynth. Set it up, draw a card, special summon, pop a card, goodbye Unicorn. And the Jord token from the very start of the duel has messed up the Lightning Storm. We could not activate it. Set up the big welcome, Coup Clock to the hand, off of activating a Labrynth card to discard a card. 6,000 damage here, recycling our impermanence, linking this up into a Blackbeard. 7,600 damage, not quite lethal, except it is. With the effect of Blackbeard being a quick effect, we are going to target itself, summon a Bran, draw max C, lethal damage. Plunder. Plunder is the quick effect to banish back row, to banish monsters, to negate monsters, and even block them up with a token so they can't summon their Kashtiras. And the big downside of all of that is they have to discard a Plunder to activate their effects, and they are dependent on the attribute of the opponent's monsters on their field or in the graveyard in order to summon any of those monsters that banish back row monster or negate. But through the effect of Jord, we give them the exact attribute we want so that we could choose specifically what we want to do with negating, banishing. Let's hop into game 3. We have no Coup Clock, so no turn 0 plays here. But, you know, we could set up traps to be used for the next turn, and that is kind of okay. The problem with these, though, is as soon as an Arise Heart hits the field, they're not activatable. So before the Arise Heart's summoned, we have to get Torbjorn, we have to get Chandelier in, and it looks like we're going to start doing that right now. Now, every card sent to the graveyard is banished instead. We don't get the benefit of the big welcome. I wanted to potentially commentate that I was thinking maybe the Welcome Labrynth should be another big welcome, because if they deal with the big welcome, then you're stuck with a regular welcome, which is not ideal. How the Goliath got banished by the Pot of Pete. We are now indestructible by card effects. We cannot be destroyed by Lovely. We cannot be destroyed by the Labrynth. We cannot be destroyed by List negating. So that protection of the Goliath, with whether it's banished from Pot of P or Pot of E, it's huge. It's relevant. And we got Ash, too. Ariana searching for the big welcome, which we did not trigger the Arise, so it didn't get that third material. It was not able to banish, but you could use Ash while Arise is on the field because Ash does not have to go to the graveyard. We're going to chain the Welcome Labrynth. What I like to do is, welcome first, get the Lovely out, then they can't Ash the big welcome, so they have to Ash the welcome. It's not an option. You have to Ash it. But the problem is, I guess what's the problem? If the Arise Heart would then gain a third material, you activate big welcome, they then chain the Arise Heart onto the Lovely, and you're just like screwed anyway. So with their Arise plus Ash is what screws you. Negate. Gain that third material, and now we're going to get Banishing. Are we going to be getting rid of our Goliath? The one protecting us from being destroyed by card effects. Ooh, we even have another card. We have a Wind Pegasus. So if we specifically out the Arise Heart itself, the Wind Pegasus will be activatable in the grave to shuffle a card in the field back in the deck. Summoning the I mean, this is too much advantage for Kashtira. Labrynth needs to try to gain back the advantage, which I think the duel is done right here, right now. Banishing the Ariana, open field. We do have Lady to block an attack at 2,900 defense. We already activated to banish. On the attack, do we summon a Lady here? Activate to equip. The attack has not gone through yet. Take that 25, taking 15. 2,600 going in for the final attack. Did we not have the summon of Lady? Why couldn't we Lady summon? We just, the game was over anyway, right? Damn. Rip Bozo to Labrynth Plunder. You're rooting for Kashtira? Are you out of your mind? What the? Begin. Maxi preemptively, cross out designate to negate. I don't think so, mate. We do have impermanence. Imperm on Lightheart is high risk, high reward. If they don't have another field spell, then it is great. So let's see. I mean, we're still going to get to the tryhard anyway. Imperm, negate, no field spell in the hand, which you do play 3 of. It's kind of like negating the Ignister field spell searcher, similar to that. And it does have the ability of every monster on the field is stuck in defense. And we're unaffected from monsters that activate while in defense. Pot of Extravagance, banish 6, randomly banishing the Goliath. As we saw, the benefit of Goliath being attached to your Rise Heart is quite large. We're going to Unicorn, searching for the Birth. Theosis onto the Unicorn, summoning from the deck. Our Fenrir. Fenrir cannot banish the Tri-Heart. Grabbing the Rise Heart. Now, while we're stuck in defense, this is not like a Baguska. We are not negated. We got Shang-Ri to bang it. We're going to bang it with the Big Bang. Big Bang, bang the Shang-Ri, add back a material, then summon it back onto the fields. Also, lock up a zone. And what did we get banished off the top of our deck? Anything important here? Not really. We're good. Tryhard forcing a D. Now, we could pop it with the field spell because we activated Shang-Ri, but we used the Arrival to protect our Tryhard from being destroyed by card effect. Now, Scareclaw, Kashtira, attacking in a Tryhard would negate it. Okay. We do have a Rise Heart. Anything sent to the graveyard will be banished instead. We cannot banish the Tryhard, but we could banish the Call by the Grave. Call by the Grave banishing the Maxi. We'll be activating to grab a banished card, equipping it back onto the Arise Heart. And with the Big Bang, while we have a Kashtira Exceed, we can activate it, forcing both players to just have one monster on the field. We are, we're locking them up. I think it would have been better to lock up this zone because they need to summon their Scareclaws adjacent to a Scareclaw. We have birthing onto the field. Our Scareclaw Kashtira swinging into the Asta, banishing it to then equip another card. One more banish, and we're going to be able to get banishing with the Arise Heart, which is too large to attack into with the Tryhard. Right card off the top of the deck, Shang-Ri summoning from the deck. Our Fenrir triggering the field spell to pop the Tryhard a second time. Arrival for the first pop, and then we didn't have another one for the second. The Herald of the Abyss sending the Shang-Ri to the graveyard. And now we're going to have to be dealing with the Birth, banishing 3 cards from our graveyard face down. And he does have the quick effect of the Arise Heart to banish anything we control face down. Looks like Scareclaw is definitely not winning this. Now, the benefit of Arise Heart being on the field is that they cannot use Maxi themselves because it must be sent to the graveyard. Rykar is searching it up. Fenrir is banishing. That is the scoop. Let's hop into game number 2. Game 2. D-Shifter right away. We are going to be searching for the Rykart. Rykart special summon, grabbing the Arrival, which we can't use to reborn a monster from the graveyard. Lightheart searching for another field spell. Generally, you Lightheart before the field spell so that you could try to bait out a disruption. Twin Saw will pop 2 cards in the field here. Paw to E. What are we randomly banishing? We always randomly banish the Goliath. Are we playing more than one Goliath? What's going on here? How do we keep on banishing Goliath? Just one Goliath and we keep banishing. We banished 2 of our Rise Hearts also. Searching for a preparation which could special summon a Kashtira from our hand or the banish. Now, this is guaranteed for him to be drawing into Triple Tactics Talent or Nibiru. By banishing Nibiru, you're guaranteed to be drawing into the TTT. Okay. Field spell over field spell. We're no longer under the shifter. Grabbing the Astra, summon the Astra. Twin Saw, pop the back row is what I'm thinking. Wipe out that back row just like that. Lightheart again, searching our deck for nothing. As we then reborn from the graveyard our Astra, normal summon the Maxi. 3 effect monsters make the Tri-Heart. Tri-Heart reborn from the graveyard. Search our deck for a Scareclaw. I'm liking this deck too. Today, I want to play Scareclaw, and I want to play Plunder Labrynth. Those are the 2 decks I really want to be trying out. And just like that, we have triple attack, lethal damage, boosted up by the Acro. Game. It's rare for a monster gaining additional attacks being able to attack directly. So that little scorpion thing giving direct attacks, additional ones, that is great. Pathfinder finding the path to the win, giving us our Unicorn. Unicorn into birth, additional summon the Fenrir. We're going to grab a Theosis instead. Special summoning a Fenrir, keeping the Fenrir in the hand for the grind game. Rise Heart special summoning, making the Shangri. Now we're going to bang the Shangri with the Big Bang, targeting it after banishing it by cost, and then we're going to be locking up a zone. Let's look at the 3 cards that got banished here. We lost an Arrival. We lost our 1 of Herald of the Abyss, which we would have searched for with the Thrust. That is not good for us. Do we have something else that's thrustable or what? Hopefully we were not too dependent on that Herald of the Abyss to deal with the Arise Heart. TTT, we can take control of it. This works out. This is fine. Okay. Activate TTT. Get control taken. It will now trigger, equip a card. It will be 3 material. That will trigger the Fenrir, which we can now activate our effect also. You're detaching 3 to banish the Shangri and not even using the Fenrir as we are saving it for something else. Why didn't we banish the Fenrir? We left up the Shangri. We're equipping the Rykart. We could Zeus the field if it were to not have been banished from our extra deck that the Unicorn just did. Preparation's going to be reborning that Fenrir back in the field, ready to banish. Huh? Oh, Rise Heart. A Rise Heart into a Rise Heart, so we don't have to give it back during the end phase because the opponent activated their Shangri, which is the risk of activating Shangri, giving us the 1 card Arise Heart over a Rise Heart. And it's soft once per turn, so the second copy of Arise Heart is activatable again. Double Arise Heart banish. Get that Fenrir out of here. Now it's banished face down. Equipping from the banish pile the Rykart, making the Lightheart into the field spell. Arise Heart continually activating over and over again. Grabbing that field spell. Field spell requires 3 monsters on the field to be in defense before it could pop a card on the field. So let's grab the Astra, Rykart plus the Unicorn. We're popping. And we also draw a card, right? We add, and there's 3 monsters in defense, so we draw a card. Oh my Jesus, what the heck? Pop that field spell. It's an extra pop, extra draw. It's extra. The deck is extra. Azalea, what are you doing here? Now, Azalea, if we have 4 spells in the graveyard, she will not send herself to the graveyard, popping a card in the field. We did not have that. We're now making Light Heart, searching for another field spell to be used next turn, as we already activated one. Tryheart. Tryheart Reborn, a Scareclaw. Search our deck for a Scareclaw. We're in main phase 2, so we're not doing anything crazy with the Tryheart here. Twin Saw, though, is nuts. Get ready to pop 2 cards in the field. So we could wait for the activation of the Birth or the activation of the Theosis, and that's when we could chain the Twin Saw, pop in the monster you target with the Theosis, or pop in the Birth before it resolves summoning a banished or engraved monster. Call by the Grave onto the Lightheart as it was tributed for the cost of the Twin Saw. The other effect is we could banish it whenever we want, and then Link monsters cannot activate for the rest of the turn. That passes our turn. Back to Scareclaw. I have a feeling that we're going to win this turn. This is it. Chaining Max C? I don't think so. Ash? Negate. And you made my thrust activatable. We are now going to be thrusting into what? A TTT? We have another TTT. Maybe we just play one TTT, one Herald. Unicorn banishing the other Tryheart from the extra deck. As we reborn the Balone from the grave, searching for an Astra. Astra gives additional attacks. Acro boost up our attack. Pop the monster on the field. 39 triple attack. 1, 2. Lethal attack number 3. To the grand finale, Scareclaw is going. Damn. This is good. Is he playing against pure Kashtira in the grand finale? I think so. Welcome to the grand finale. This is Scareclaw versus Kashtira, but my question is, why not put them together? Because that's actually a really good deck too, but we're not going to see that for this duel. We're going to see pure Scareclaw versus pure Kashtira in the grand finale. Hajime. This is a good 1-card starter. The Impermanence is going to be a high risk, high reward because they potentially already have a field spell in the hand, as this is searching for a field spell where only 1 is activatable per turn. It does work out great. Unfortunately for us, our Call by the Grave was no good, of no use. The Arrival did not work because we need a Scareclaw in the graveyard to activate it. We are going to be YOLOing our Ash, another high risk, high reward, negate the field spell, potentially ending their turn. Now, unfortunately for Crobat, they do have a Fenrir, but at least it's not a Unicorn. Now, Fenrir on attack is going to be banishing the Lightheart, direct for 2,500, and it really was not that big of a deal. So the Ash on the field spell, it worked out. Now, back to Crobat, Harpy Feather Duster, which is not so good. Arrival arriving back onto the field with our monster. Wait, couldn't we have arrived the Acro earlier, but then it would just been a Link 2, so it wouldn't have been good. So we could have arrived, but it just wasn't good. Now, the Lightheart adding the field spell, triggering the Droll and Lockbird, making it so the field spell cannot add a Reichheart, is going to be negated by the Call by the Grave. Fingering the Droll, banishing it from the grave, we can now further search our deck, but we lose out on our Lightheart, but we have not used up our normal summon yet. So we could Reichheart into Arrival, and we have a Link 2. We could, how do we get a third monster on the field? Well, the Kurikara could tribute the Kashtira Fenrir, and that could be our third monster. Just like that. Kurikara, tribute the Fenrir, making our Link 2. Asa is going to be reborning the Fenrir back onto our field, which we could search for a Scareclaw Kashtira. Not a Kashtira card, it's a Scareclaw card, as we now make Tryheart. This is working out. Tryheart reborn the Acro, triggering the effect, or just resolving the rest of the effect to search for another monster. We got Astra. Hold up, main phase 1, multiple attacks. Did we just win? What the heck? That came out of freaking nowhere. Lethal damage. Wow. Astra gives you an additional attack per Scareclaw we have in defense. And then the other one, the Acro, is boosting up your attack. Damn. What? Now, Yuri lost game 1, but chose for Scareclaw, a deck that's very good going second, to go first. And their first turn sucked. But they got Nibiru. They got Ash. Can we play through all of it? Auto D, negate with Ash, seems good with me. We'll trigger the thrust, but we are not doing that, so we're gonna hold on to it instead. Fenrir into the Rise Heart, the Theosis, negates. Now thrust is gonna be good if we wait for the Nibiru to add the card we search for to our hand. Otherwise, it's just gonna go into the back row, which means you just should not thrust until it's your final play. To battle we go. We are banishing our Ogre while having an Ogre in the hand. Double Ogre. So it looks like the final play here is going to be setting up a Theosis to be used next turn. And we're also making a Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, which will burn for 500 every time you activate a card. Okay. Harpy Feather Duster, a massive one. Wiping out double Imperm and a Theosis. That hurts. Damn. Now, the Red Eyes Flare Metal is not a trigger effect, it's a continuous effect, thus no TTT, no thrust. I didn't activate a monster effect, you saw nothing. Alrighty, to battle we go, 2,800, and now at 800 life, we can only activate we can only activate one card. We activate two, we're dead. we summon Rykart, we activate, we burn for 500, and then we can't do any more. Change of heart. Take control, flip it up, to battle we go. Lethal damage. Let's go to game 3. Are we older than Magic the Gathering? How old is Magic the Gathering? Pot of P, banishing 6. We got Goliath, we got Wind Pegasus, we got Garura. Let's say you equip Garura, Wind Pegasus onto your Rise Heart and they kaiju. You're gonna draw a card, and if they then destroy a card on the field, the Pegasus will activate to spin a card in the field back to the deck. So very powerful when comboed up with it. We got Theosis, and now we're gonna max C. As I'm guessing we wanted to play around Gamma. The usage of Gamma is going up because it does counter a Rise Heart specifically, where you force the activation of its trigger to attach a banished card, and then you get a free level 8 synchro during your own turn. And we are now gonna be summoning our Rise Heart, banishing a Unicorn from the deck, playing under a Nibiru. Now we can easily trigger the Arise Heart and then summon a Kurikara. We can't activate Maxia to do so. This will not trigger it. We are gonna be summoning, banishing, triggering, activating. If we do not banish right now, it's gone to Kurikara. So do we Kurikara or do we banish? Kurikara! Now, we had equipped onto it a Garura, so we will draw a card. Get drawn. Ola, Maxi on the field now. We're gonna pop the Maxi to some of the Vsauce here. Lethal? What is this? Huh? Yeah, lethal! What the, out of nowhere? That field spell boosted him up, didn't it? Yeah. 3 different attributes, 300 boost, extra 900 damage across the board. That's lethal damage. It just like that, Scareclaw, which I've been saying the entire tournament, is the sleeper deck that people are not going to expect it. Whether it's, I've been saying Scareclaw Kashtira to be fair, but boy, pure Scareclaw also good. Twin Saw, which we really didn't see that much of, being able to pop 2 and turn off the ability of activating links, and also just being able to have the power to one-turn kill, end games quickly. Do consider Scareclaw for the Duelist Cup. Wow. This is the meta. 2 Kashtira, 2 Purrely, 2 Scareclaw. Even tier limits making a comeback in this meta. Maybe the meta is just super balanced. I don't know about you, but this is something. So let's hop on down to this. Scareclaw 80. How much Scareclaw and Kashtira are we playing of each? We got the 1 Kashtira, triple Unicorn, double Fenrir, 1 Theosis. It's like the Kashtira package you could toss in a lot of decks. Twin Saw, I like this card a lot. Pop 2, lock people out of Link summoning, or Link activating, that is. And then Mvieska, 41 card, Dragon Link, looking good. I feel like a lot of Kashtira players are playing right into Nibiru, so we need Dragon Link players to make it so that less people are playing into Nibiru, and then when you're not playing Nibiru, you're playing against a weaker field. That's great. Good job. There is the extra deck Goddess and Chaos Ruler. and access code talker. I was struggling fitting in everything in my extra deck. You're playing just one Striker Dragon. Okay, that is interesting. Moving on. Now, how is Tearlament being played right now? We have Tear, Shadow, Destrudo, the Game Seal. Okay, you know, it's an Aqua, so it's good for fusion summoning with. What the heck is this? If this card's sent from the deck to the graveyard by monster effect, you could special summon this card. It is a tuner. It's level 1. Okay. Interesting. There's the extra deck. And then we have Fluandereeze with Fossil Dyna. Additional normal summon the Fossil Dyna. Herald of the Abyss. Okay. Just like that. Very well done. Saucy Senpai, 40 cards. This is what I was really curious about. Main deck and big welcome. So the Labrynth package that you could put in any deck. 2 big welcome, 1 lovely, no lady. Okay. I guess with triple tactics thrust, consider putting in big welcomes plus lovely. So what would happen is they max C you normal summon, you set big welcome. On their turn, you special summon lovely, returning your normal summon, pop a card from their hand or on the field, and then on your turn, you could reset the big welcome or use it to banish and spin a monster back and then trigger her effect again. So, I mean, this really does a lot for how small the package is, and I'm very happy to see this, so thank you very much for that. Necrofear, Purrely, such a compact deck. 2 talent, went 1 thrust, double eclipse, got Droll and Lockbird, okay. Another Tearlament, 46 card tier, also playing the plant tuner thing. Okay. Got some more Kashtira here. The Theosis, the Kashtira package. If you want the package of Kashtira, 1 field, 1 Theosis, 1 birth, triple unicorn, double Fenrir. Okay. I'm going to play that plus Labrynth in every deck. Nice. And then Usake with the Valence. Got the normal summon Fossil Dyna, plus we got the triple Lava Golem, so we have a good turn 1 and good turn 2. There's the extra deck. And then Snapshot. This is pure Labrynth. People are not playing Eradicator anymore. We got Daruma, we got Dimensional Barrier. It's a top tier deck. Top triple Nibiru. And the double Fenrir. I'm liking this. Good job. And 2 clock. All right. Yep. Triple. And then Nick with the Purrely. Feather Duster, Herald into the triple thrust to add any of them to your hand. Very nicely done. We squeezed in Fenrir into the main deck here. And then we have Skystriker. Double Change of Hearts Skystriker, triple thrust. Thrusting the engage to your hand. Using the Surgical Striker Hamp to Kaiju over an Arise so that your spell cards hit the grave. Very nice. Okay. And then Fictinium. We got the Kaiju. We could send the Kaiju to the graveyard from the deck, then add it back to the hand. So it's kind of searchable. Okay. And then Bahu. The deck of the tournament. Not playing Plunder Booty. Got Dimensional Barrier just in here. Okay, but the lady searches the Dimensional Barrier, so it makes sense. Wow. This deck did so much with so little in the main deck. I'm loving this. This is such a good idea. Thank you, Bahu. I'm definitely playing this. And then Willop with a pure Kashtira deck, triple Kurikara in the main. I feel like everyone's deck is pretty diverse and different in their choices on how they're choosing to play the cards. I like it. And then second place, another pure cash, main decking the Change of Heart. Okay, pot of E, pot of D. It was between D and E. I guess we're playing both because we want to randomly banish the Goliath to make our Arise Heart a bit better. Makes sense. Triple Kurikara in both of the decks. Look at that. Triple Kurikara. We just put out a video on why you should be playing Kurikara, and they're playing Kurikara, so you should too. definitely. It's one of my favorite cards to be playing. It's the most fun. Steal their monster in the end phase. Giant Kurikara on the field. Let's go. And then double Kurikara in the main. Top 3. Kurikara, and level 100 Crobat with the Scareclaw deck. I want to play Scareclaw. I want to play Plunder. Those are the 2 decks I'm really looking at after this tournament to have fun with. So thank you very much to all of you. If you're looking at the decks yourself, you could click on this to filter through them. And that is going to be it. Thank you very much. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, watching as much as you can. We are out.